As the masses pour in to Michigan Stadium, the Buckeyes have won 17 straight on the road. They hope to silence more than 100,000 in the maize and blue. This is a very special year for the Toledo area, a unique connection between the two head coaches that face each other for the very first time. (975) Louisiana Avenue, just up the street from beautiful downtown Perrysburg. A safe, clean neighborhood. Today, it's the home of...
I'm Sandra Wagner.
I'm Brian Wagner. I'm Sandy's husband.
But 50 years ago, the Harbaughs.
Most of the time growing up here in Ann Arbor or in Iowa, we would always drive back to Ohio, Crestline, or Cleveland. That's where my grandparents lived, and all our uncles and aunts and relatives, etc. So the stories were always, when we went by, you know, there's the Maumee River. You know, this is where you guys were born near here in Perrysburg, and sometimes we were little, they'd drive us by where we lived.
Almost hard to believe for the current owners, because since this home was built in the mid-50s, it has been in their family for the majority of its existence.
My dad bought the house in 1954 after we got out of the Korean conflict, and I stayed here for the first 6 years of my life, and then we moved out in 1960. And then Brian and I were looking for a home when I was pregnant for my daughter, and so we bought the house in 1976, and we've been here ever since.
It was during that window from 1960 to 76 when a young Jack Harbaugh, who was a teacher and football coach at Perrysburg High School, moved his family in. That happened in the early 60s. And while some, mainly Wolverine fans, might think this is the greatest coincidence ever, the Wagoners have a different take.
It's kind of funny because I'm not into sports whatsoever, so it seems kind of weird that he would have lived here. And
it's not a big deal, right?
It's not a big deal whatsoever for me, no.
But for Brian...
For me, it's a bragging rights, I guess you can say, for some of my friends that are diehard Michigan fans. So it's pretty nice that I got this now, because I can go to work and kind of say, hey.
About 6 months later, in the summer of '64, the Myers brought a young urban home to their place. This place, 5749 East Roland Road in West Toledo.
It's interesting to be associated with, you know, Ohio State and everything, and it's awesome. So.
Nancy Wells lives in one of the 4 units inside the building. Could be the Myers. Nobody here today is really sure which one it is. In fact, they heard rumors about this potentially being Urban's first home, but nothing concrete until now.
I never had it verified or anything and never found out, so, but it was like, oh, really?
Not only do the coaches share the same childhood hometown, but they were both born in the same hospital, the Old Mercy Hospital on Madison in downtown Toledo. Humble beginnings. As you can see, neither coach grew up in a mansion. It's all about hard work. Here's Steve Slivka with Jack Harbaugh.